Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome if you're new here. This channel is all about makeup tutorials and hacks and tips for all the busy women out there and busy moms who don't have a lot of time on their hands to look presentable, but they want to look presentable. Everybody wants to look presentable, but you have very limited time and resources to work with. So this is a good space if you are in that category, or if you're just too lazy to put too many things on your face. This is a good space for you as well. Today's video is going to be on how to do a summer sweat proof makeup, especially in the Gurgaon heat. And if you live somewhere where there's a lot of humidity and a lot of heat, and if your face sweats a lot, this video is a good one for you because a lot of hacks and tips and tricks for you to follow. Before you start watching, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video and click on that notification bell. And after you've done all of that, you can continue to watch the rest of this video. Okay, so make sure that you've done your skincare and you've done your sunscreen, like you've applied a good layer of sunscreen, moisturized everything before you start with any of your makeup. And since I've already done all of that, I am going to start off with the primer, which is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And the reason we're going to use this, I've used up quite a bit of this, is because it's a gripping primer and it makes sure everything stays put, nothing moves. And that is something you need, especially in the summertime when you know it's going to be hot and humid, and it's very hot and humid in Gurgaon already. It has begun. Yeah, mere ko zyada garmi lag rahi hai. So I'm going to take a nice amount of that and just apply it all over my face. So I sweat a lot on my face in the summer. If you don't, then I don't think you need this primer. Maybe put a little bit, not as much as I am, but I tend to sweat a lot on my face, like especially my forehead here and here, like my temples. So I'm emphasizing those areas with the primer so that I know that at least a little bit of my makeup will stay put, if not all of it. And it's sticky, can you see? I'm going in with another primer, which is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. It's the Smooth and Blur. I'm only doing this just for my nose because my nose is actually quite dry most of the time because I have a lot of allergies. You can see it's quite red compared to the rest of my face. So I try to add this here. Next, we're going to conceal. Now there are a few options that you can choose from here. You can either just conceal and set it with a powder. You could use a tinted sunscreen, like another layer of tinted sunscreen. If you have like flawless skin, I don't really have flawless skin. You can't see a lot of my imperfections on this camera, but if you can see, I have a lot of veins that show here. I have a lot of redness here, a lot of darkness and here. So tinted sunscreen does nothing for me. It's as good as wearing normal sunscreen. But if tinted sunscreens work for you, I would suggest you go in ahead with that again over your primer so it stays put. Or second thing you could do is, if you are a foundation wearer and if you need to go to an event and you need to wear a foundation and have a full coverage, you could do like a nice CC cream. You could even do like a lightweight foundation, something that's water based, which will stay longer and it won't, it's not prone to melting off of your face. I'll leave some product recommendations in the description box down below, so make sure you check that out. And the third thing that what I'm going to do, the third option, which is just put concealer and set it with a powder, because like I said, I sweat a lot on my face, and putting another layer of base on my face seems like a lot, and I know it's just gonna come off, so we're going to keep it as minimal as possible. So I'm going to use a combination of my Inside Cosmetics what is this called, Pro Concealer Palette, and I'm also going to mix some of my Too Faced multi-use sculpting concealer. I like a combination of both of them. I just use my ring finger to put the concealer, and also I kind of mix a couple of shades. It all depends on your skin tone and what kind of coverage you're looking for, and you know, all of that. So if I tell you what I use, I'll probably won't be able to because there's no name on the shade, so I'm just, you know, winging it. I probably use different shades every time because I have no idea what I use. But you see, that helps correct a lot of the darkness. So that is the main concern that I try to fix. So I mostly use this for my under eye because everywhere else I feel like it's too warm and too yellow. Yeah, that's the right word. It's too warm for the rest of my face, so I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced one for the rest of my face in natural beige. It's the right amount of warm tone and it's not very orange. So this is how I like to conceal my face. I look very funny when I do this, but this is the best way that it works on me. I let the concealer self-set a bit, so I'll just let them be. While they're self-setting, let's do the eyebrows because that's something I really emphasize on. If you've, you know, been around here for a bit on my channel, if not, please subscribe. I use an eyebrow pencil, so something that has like a triangular tip, or even like a small micro brow tip. Even that works pretty well depending on your eyebrows, of course. I have decently thick eyebrows, so I don't really need micro tip. I'll make a different tutorial on how to just do your eyebrows, probably here or on Instagram, depending on, you know, the length of the video. So I'm just gonna fast forward this part and you're just gonna watch me do my eyebrows. Once I've filled in my eyebrows and they're all like done to my satisfaction, I set them with a gel. This is the transparent two-way gel by PAC. It's actually, it can be used for multiple things. It says locks, glitter, enhances shimmer, gives flawless base. I think it's meant for like eyeshadow and stuff, which I have used this for glitter eyeshadows, but I feel like it works very well for multiple things. So I just take a little bit on the back of my hand. I use a spoolie, like I don't really use this for anything except my eyebrows, so I just run this like that and I just set my eyebrows with that. Now it's time to blend out this concealer and stop looking so crazy. And in some places, if I feel like the brush hasn't done its job, I'll just go in with my fingers, my ring finger, and just sort of pat it out gently. Make sure to keep wiping your fingers on like a wet wipe or something, because otherwise your concealer will get on your clothes, on your hair, on other people's clothes, on your husband's shirt, which I've done way too many times and regretted it, especially if you have anything white around. Or if you're wearing white, please make sure that you're, you know, not having concealer fingers all the time. So I'm just gonna set that with a loose setting powder. I use the Laura Mercier one in translucent. This is by far my favorite setting powder. Everybody's preference is different, of course. You don't have to use this, you can use whichever one you like, but this is what has worked on me. I've used a bunch of loose powders. I've even used the compact powders and even the foundation powders, and I just feel like as I've aged, those just don't work that well for me anymore. I like this because it's very finely milled and it absorbs into the skin pretty well. So I'm just gonna go in with patting that powder in. I do this so that I don't move any product underneath around. Next, I'm going in with my cream blush from Color Bar. This is Sinful Lip and Cheek Mousse Tint in the color Pink Pie, and this is what it looks like. And now you must, yeah, you must be wondering why I'm doing cream after I powder my face. Again, I sweat a lot on my face, and if I don't powder my concealer before I go in with anything, it won't stay. Trust me, I've tried, it doesn't stay. If it stays on you, then you should probably just do this before you set your face with powder. But if you're like me and you sweat a lot on your face, then you should probably do what I'm doing. That was a lot. So the ridged marks that you see here, it's actually from this brush, and this is what I use to put this cream blush on my face. It's a nice stippling brush, and I like how it applies this blush. That's a tongue twister. So just take out a little bit like excess on my hand so that, you know, I don't go in with a lot. And I just stipple this on my face, and I still went in with a lot. Anyway, we'll blend it out, so don't worry about it. Okay, now you may think it looks like a lot and very patchy, but I'm not done yet. I'm gonna go in with, we're also going to set this cream with your translucent face powder, because like I said again, this is for summers and my face melts in the summer, so you need to set everything on your face with some powder. And we're not going to use a lot, we're just going to use a little bit. I'm looking down because I took too much while I was talking and now I'm trying to get rid of the excess. So I just took a little bit and I'm just going to tap that in. And the reason I wear a lot of this particular blush is because on my face I've noticed that cream blushes don't last no matter what I do, so I end up going in with a lot and then I know that in a couple of hours it'll just dissipate and, you know, become the kind of, you know, consistency or the amount of product that I want, but it takes time for that to happen. Next, I'm just going to highlight a little bit. You could do this with a cream highlighter. I'm using powder because honestly it doesn't really matter, it's all gonna come off. No, I'm kidding. The Champagne Pop from Becca stays put through thick and thin. I mean, you could be in a storm, but this will not move. Everything else will, but this stays put. I'm just gonna set my face with the NYX Plump Finish Setting Spray. This step is also very important in the summers, so nothing melts off your face, especially if you have really sweaty face like I do. Oh my god, can you see that glow like hitting? Oh yes. Next, what we're gonna do is sort of make the eyes and lips also cohesive with the rest of the face. So usually what I do in summers is I don't go in with a lot of eye makeup, so I use maybe one shade and I'll just put a wash of it on my lid. Either a not glittery, but like a nice metallic shade, or maybe like a matte shade. So I'm using the Gush, what is it called? I Like It Stacked Eyeshadow Palette by Gush Cosmetics, and it has like 4 shades, so I'll just show you. Wait. So it's like that, and these have 2 glitter-ish metallic shades and 2 matte shades. So I'm just going to use either this, let's swatch. So that's what that looks like. It's a nice wet metallic shade, and